Stephon Marbury was a fantastic player in the league right out of the gate. He was the 4th pick in the '96 draft, a draft class chock full of legends like Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, and the list goes on. He was actually traded on draft night for Ray Allen to the Timberwolves and became a top 3 scorer off the dribble in the early 2000s. So how did he end up in China less than a decade later? The answer may surprise you. Let's start from the beginning. As I said, Marbury was selected with the 4th overall pick in the '96 draft by the Bucks. He was traded to Minnesota on draft night, where him and KG became a dynamic duo of sorts. In his rookie year, he put up 16, 8, and 3 a game, which were fantastic numbers, and landed in a slot on the all-rookie first team alongside Allen Iverson, Antoine Walker, and a couple other guys who didn't quite pan out. His numbers increased steadily over his next season in Minnesota before getting traded to the New Jersey Nets early on in the '99 lockout season. Although he was winning in Minnesota, he wanted to trade because, similar to Kyrie Irving, he wanted to be the man on a team, and at the time it was pretty much undisputedly KG's team. His numbers went up pretty well in New Jersey, averaging 23, 9, and 3 for the rest of that season. He also became an All-Star for the first time with the team in 2000 to 2001, when he averaged 24, 8, and 3. That was also his final season with the team, before getting traded to Phoenix for Jason Kidd. Yet again, the team Marbury left behind would become great without him, which you know that had to mess with him. But he became an All-Star again in Phoenix. He also made All-NBA teams during both of those All-Star seasons. During the 03 to 04 season, he got traded to the Knicks, where things really started to go downhill for Marbury. Starting with the continuation of what I'm dubbing the Marbury curse, after getting rid of Marbury, Phoenix signed Steve Nash and became a contender overnight. But on top of that, Marbury didn't get along with any coaches. But he stuck with the team because he'd already been moved between 4 teams in the last 8 seasons. His first coach was Don Chaney, who, as I mentioned earlier, Marbury had problems with. He'd get in verbal altercations with the guy consistently, and after a while New York knew they needed to make a move. He had multiple coaches for short stints between 2004 and 2006, before Isaiah Thomas, the GM at the time, stepped in to fill the void. The two of them didn't get along either, and Marbury's play had declined drastically. In 04 to 05, Marbury averaged 22, 8, and 3. In 05 to 06, his averages plummeted to 16, 5, and 3. Towards the end of his time there, the Knicks picked up Mike D'Antoni, who once again, Marbury had trouble with. By that point, Marbury's numbers had dropped to 14, 5, and 3, and Marbury ended up on the Celtics bench for the 08 to 09 season. According to Marbury, his mental health was in a poor state, and that was reflected in a 2009 livestream of Marbury eating Vaseline, which I actually didn't know about until deciding to make this video. Marbury averaged 4, 3, and 1 in minimal time on the Celtics bench during that season before ending up in China. Brought the team their first ever championship during his first year on the team in 2012, made it to the finals and lost in 2013, then went back-to-back with the team in 2014 and 2015. For that first championship, Marbury led the Beijing Ducks past 7-time defending champions, the Guangdong Southern Tigers. It was legit 2019 Kawhi Leonard beating the Warriors nearly a decade before and halfway across the globe. A statue was erected in Marbury's honor in Beijing, along with a Starbury museum and the revival of the Starbury brand, which sells shoes for an insanely low price of $15, as well as other goods. Marbury was actually invited back to the NBA by multiple teams, especially since he was balling out in China. During that first championship run, Starbury averaged 45 points a game during one of their playoff series, but he declined their offers. He wasn't looking to go back to America, he found what he was looking for in China. He ended his playing career in 2018 at the age of 40, and he's now coaching the Beijing Royal Fighters. At the end of the day, basketball's just a game, and I credit Starbury for realizing that he needed to change. I'd much rather see him find success abroad than see him dead at 32 years old. The one thing that does make me nervous is Starbury's career path has uncanny similarities to those of Kyrie Irving so far. Kyrie stayed in Boston for 2 years and ended up in New York when he was 27. Starbury was on the Suns for 2 years and ended up in New York when he was 27. They both dealt with mental health issues during their time in the league. They both left their original teams because they wanted to have their own team. If his career continues Starbury's eerie similarities, we could see Kyrie out of the league in the next 4 years. Which, if that's what it takes for him to be happy, so be it. But I'd like to see Kyrie play out a more accomplished career in the NBA. I mean, the dude's probably already a Hall of Famer, but I could definitely see him winning more rings, He's probably going to get his 7th All-Star selection this year. There's just so much he could do if he gets into a positive enough state to keep his head in the game. Obviously, his health comes first. I'm just talking possibilities. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.
Catch my